Woohoo! We're live, everybody. Hello, hello, hello out there. This is the $1,000,000 Mission with Ellie, Carol, and Lynn. And before we start, you know what we do? Well, if you've been here before, you should know what we do. We are going to toast. So here we go, gals. And I got real stuff today.
All right. Yes, I have real stuff all the time.
I know. But I don't know if yours is wine. But we're not going to tell. It's a secret. So tonight, we want to share more value. This is what our hangout is all about. We share value. We share information. And hopefully that will help you to make a decision to take some action. Because, we would love for you to join us in our business. How did Kevin Susan say it last night? Happily, how did he say it? What was it, Carol?
I don't know, but he used the word happily several times, yes.
Yeah, happily work with us or something like that, or, I loved it. I mean, it was kind of like one of those things, So anyway, there's one question that's asked the most times than not, and that is, can I really do it? And it pertains to online business success. Because, can you really climb a mountain? We're not going to talk about that. Can you really run a marathon? We're not going to talk about that. This is about online business. And the question that gets asked a lot, whether, you're thinking about, starting an online business, or you're in an online business, or you just joined a company or something like that, and you're sitting there going, can I really do this? Because I got to tell you, that's what happened to me when I got on board. And I remember the very next day I said, how in the world am I going to make my first sale? I had no clue, right? So I'm going to start off with that. That's the introduction. And I'm going to hand this off now to Carol or Ellie. Uh-oh.
All right.
There we go.
Okay. Can I really do this? Yeah. I used to follow a couple from UK, and they actually wrote a book on transferring from a job to being an online business entrepreneur. And they said, both on stage and in their book, that that's one of the most frequently asked questions. So certainly that confirms what you say, what we've been saying here. And they asked, who will help us? Well, those two questions, I guess, kind of go together. Can I really do this? And, is there any help out there for me? So I have to say yes, in most circumstances, to both of those questions. Clearly, there are some people who are not cut out for this business. They are not accustomed to, or willing to, or able to work for themselves, set their own schedules, that kind of thing, be responsible for themselves. So this just would not work for them. However, that group of people I would put in the extreme minority, because there is certainly room for adjustments for just about everybody else. And what is required is what those people are not able to do, and that is to be able to work for yourself, to be able to set your own schedule, to be able to organize yourself, to be able to be your own boss and be responsible for yourself. And as long as you can do those things, I don't see any reason on earth why you can't do this. Now, some people are concerned about, oh, it's too technical, I'll never learn this stuff. I'll tell you, I'll speak for myself. I obviously am a baby boomer and did not grow up with a computer on my lap. I learned a program or two through my job and used that pretty well. But beyond that, I could do email and surf the internet. But and I had some concerns about that. Will I ever be able to learn this stuff? Fortunately, my partner in crime here, Ellie, is very astute on the internet and has helped teach me many things. And I still have some to learn, but it has been an interesting journey along the way. Because at the same time, I was looking for some mental stimulation, so I got it in spades. So it's cool. It's cool. Now, other people to help? Yes, the answer to that is absolutely. First of all, you have a sponsor. Somebody brought you into the company. And generally speaking, there's a team around that sponsor. And usually, or oftentimes, there are some hangouts or some kind of communication with that person. And if not, there are some new groups that are starting up now for people who are not connected with anybody, so that they have some connections amongst themselves. Beyond that, the leaders in the company constantly have hangouts and trainings and whatever that they put up that help you get started. And also the products themselves are educational and teach how to do this. I'll just stop at that point then and pass it on to the next person who'd like to pick up.
Am I the next person? Hey, hi, Ellie Walsh here. Look, if I look like I'm struggling around here, I'm jumping over to see if you have questions. It's because I don't know what I did with my glasses. So, but I can see this at least, so that's good. You know, here's the answer to the question. Yes. Okay, and that here's the. If you're asking yourself that question in any freaking area in your life, okay, it's the self-doubt that's going on, and I get that. I think any business, the reason why most people don't start a business, most people say in a brick and mortar, they'll say it's because of funding, but it's really, can I really do this? So they can't even get the funding, because if you have that doubt of can I really do this, you know, so you have to look beyond and say, if those crazy people can do it, I can. You know, and even in your brick and mortar business, you know, like if that guy can own a pizza joint, so can I. You know, how could he ain't no smarter than me? And especially with online business. Now, specifically for the company that we're aligned with, there is help there. I guess there isn't everywhere. You know, Carol said I'm astute, you know, on the internet. I've been on the internet a long time. That's the only reason why. I'm not no freaking smarter than anybody else. I might be dumber. I don't know. But I've been doing it longer. If you do something over and over and over again, you get more proficient at it. You know, from the moment I got on in 1996, I was like, I hear people can make money on the internet. I'm going to figure this out. Okay, so I've been like playing. You know, and that's when I had to learn HTML, and I really learned how to you know, do not big codes, but to code HTML, and I learned it because it was something I wanted to do. And communities then were forums, and I found forums, all right, and I was amazed that I could go in there and ask a question. I don't know, maybe it was about my RAM or why I wasn't able to see something or whatever. And I would go in and ask a question. First of all, I learned really, really quickly. If you're going to ask a question, get as detailed as possible. You know, when somebody gets online, they go, why am I getting this error message? I want to pull all my hair out of my head. Okay, because it's like, what freaking error message? Tell us more about it. Explain exactly what's happening. And I learned that, because if you didn't ask the question specifically, it took a long time for you to get an answer. Because then they asked this, and then you had to say this, and then they asked this, instead of going in there and saying, here's the whole thing. Here's what I'm seeing. Blah, 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 blah. We couldn't do screenshots then. So you had to say it. You had to type out the error message and all this stuff. But people would give me the answer. People who had no benefit whatsoever from answering me. I was like, whoa. Now I realized later on the benefit is they feel better. They just feel good. They feel good helping somebody else. Because, you know, later on, as I got more proficient, you know, I certainly went in and answered people's questions. and gave big detailed answers for people, because it's just like that, pass it on. And now in this specific business, we have a community that really is like that. It's really all about putting a hand out and uplifting the other person. Is everybody like, angel sweet? No, probably not, okay? But on the whole, the community is. So the answer is yes. Now, how long is it going to take me to do it? I don't have that answer. That's the other, because when you're asking that question, my question to you is, how much time are you willing to dedicate to this? That's the real question. If you're thinking, oh, I'll hang around for 2 months and I'll try it, you don't really mean it. You don't really mean it. I understand that fear, and I think the fear of, can I really do this, is really saying, is somebody going to be there to help me? And not in all businesses is there somebody there to help you. Within this community, there's a huge amount of help here. But my question to you is how much are you willing to put into it? Because if you're going to put in, a little bit, just a little bit, then you're going to get a little bit back. And if you're going to put in a lot, and that doesn't even always mean in hours, that just means in dedication and consistency, then you're going to end up getting back a lot. So I don't believe that there's nobody who can't do this. Anybody can do this. Will everybody do it? We already know that answer. The answer is no. Not everybody will do it. Not everybody will do it for a variety of reasons, but not everybody will do it. I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, I agree with that, because we met a guy at our table at the event that has been in our community for over 9 months, and he still never set up his blog. He hasn't done anything. And I said, well, are you going to start doing something now? And he goes, yeah. So the power of community, Ellie, as you were talking about, I go back to my story, my first day, and then, the next day after, I got in the night before, thinking, how in the world am I going to make my first sale? I felt like I was alone. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, nobody called me. I think I got a welcome email and maybe a step-by-step. So I started doing some of the training, but I still felt alone. And I wasn't too sure about that because, I came from a real estate lending industry. I made a ton of decisions. It was my business. I did that business. I built my business over in that industry. So when I came into, this network marketing direct sales company, I was kind of lost. I felt like I was a total beginner. Although I did have some social media background. That was something that I was self-teaching myself anyway. So when I look back, what I tell people is, number one, do you have the desire to even start a business at all? You know what I mean? Like, if you really want to do something, if you really want to save for a car, or if you really want to lose weight, or you want to learn how to sing a song, and you put your mind to it, and we've talked about mindset before, it will push you towards that direction. It's just the way, that's how everything works. And then you're always thinking about that. So that's the first question, is do you have the desire to even have an online business? Because then the answer to the question is no, you're not going to succeed in this industry. And I don't know where else you would succeed unless you have a passion or desire of what it is that you're searching out for. So the second thing is this community. I thought, oh no, I can do it alone. I don't need to go to a team. I don't need any of that, right? I can self-lead and all this kind of stuff. Little did I know. I mean, that was that was stupid. And so I was invited to a hangout or whatever they call. I think they were hangouts then. I can't remember. But anyway, and I'm on this panel of people, and I'm like, barely want to say anything because I don't know anything. You know what I mean? So when it got to me, all I talked about was where I came from, because that's all I really knew. And then I made a decision last night, to get on board with this company. So I think being open to being a part of a team and a community, And that's what I think Ellie, Carol, and I represent, is that we are this team of people that really care about you. We really believe in you, and we really believe in our mission. I mean, when we say $1 million mission, this isn't a joke. This is serious. We are on a serious path for success, and we want to help other people. Now, granted, because of our age, we probably can help a lot of people that are over the age of 50, okay, without revealing how old we are. And I don't believe that really matters. However, I do believe that, you know, people our age do have somewhat of this blockage, thinking, like Ellie and Carol mentioned, that you know, the technical side of it. Believe me, if any one of us can do this, you can too. So I just wanted to point out those two factors, and you know, if you really think about that, do you desire it? And then will you be open to be part of a team? And let the team lift you up while you are learning and growing and getting that confidence inside of you to make your first sale, and then to make your first, you know, get your leads and traffic and your blog going and all that kind of thing. We do that. We'll do that, you know, with you. Let's not for you, but with you. So what do you think about that, Carol?
Well, I'm going to pick up on what you said in just one moment, but I'm going to go back to something that we talk about, I think, every week, and that is mindset. You touched on this also. You said, you know, if you're not in this to really work it and you know, do something with it, you're not going to make anything out of it. But if you belief is the bottom line. Again, we talk about this all the time. If you believe that you can do this, if you have a goal in mind of your intention to make this successful, and you follow certain precepts, there's no reason why you can't. And let me go into this a little bit more deeply. I mean, there are some basic things that you do. In our particular company, the blog is the hub of everything, and that's your real estate online. This is an online business, and from your blog, you branch out into different areas: social media, perhaps buying traffic. My mind's going blank right now. But you know, Facebook, all that kinds of things, and it all leads back to your main hub, which is your blog, and that's where your marketing is done. The main part of your marketing is done. Now, how do you get people there? Well, you need to have, or how do you get? No, let me back up a minute. Okay, just forget what I just said. You also need to develop a list. A list is prospective customers who may buy from you in the future, and you get that list by attracting people to you, and it's called capture their identifying information, the first name, their email address, so that you can keep in touch with them and continue to develop rapport with them and let them know what's going on in the business. So you need your blog, you need your lead pages, you need your capture page, and you need to get the traffic coming to your blog. And as I said, that's done through these other avenues: social media, paid traffic, solo ad, you know, whatever it is you happen to choose. Now, you may not know what on earth I'm talking about, and that's fine, because you will learn this as you go through the products that we have, the educational products, and they'll teach you about these different things and what they are. And I'm going to talk just for a moment about the founder of our particular company. At any rate, we've sold millions of dollars worth of products. We have had over 50,000 affiliates in the company. And whenever he gets somebody new to him who has signed up with him, he'll ask a few questions, and he recommends that we all do this. And that is, as Ellie said before, how much time do you have to give into this? Now, some people are doing it part-time in addition to their job. So, in my estimation, I don't know, at very bottom, 2 hours a day, and I would think more 3 or 4 hours a day at least. and expect well, at least 5 days a week, and you get your weekends if you're not if you are working, you still have your weekends free or whatever days you happen to have off. So yeah, you're going to have to put some time into it. Secondly, how much money do you have to put into it? Now, it's certainly not the huge investment that a brick and mortar business is. You know, there's no real estate to buy, there's no insurance to be had, there's no employees to hire, that sort of thing. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold here. But you know, you do have products to purchase. You do have some tools that you need to work with, such as the capture pages and that sort of thing. And you know, you do have to lay out some money, but it's nominal compared to going into business otherwise. And what is your goal? Why are you in this? Why are you looking to get this business going? So those are the three major questions. How much money do you have to spend? How much time do you have to give to it? And why are you in it? What do you want to do this for? You know, if you just want to, oh, I'm going to, as somebody else said before, if I'm just going to dip my toe in it and see what happens, no, it ain't going to work. You have to be committed to it. And let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. Some of the things you'll find that you're not astute in, and it's difficult for you to learn in the beginning, you can outsource them, again, for nominal fees. There are people in other countries who speak English very well, who do this for a living. They are used to assisting people with online businesses, and they do such things as transcribing, creating landing pages, capture pages for us, even writing blogs. I mean, if you hate to write them, there are people who will write them for you. But you know, I don't know about that. That's not my cup of tea. But whatever. That's my own opinion. So outsourcing is also an option, so you don't get overwhelmed with things. And with that, I will be quiet for a while and let the next person pick up.
It's all mindset. That's my answer. It just is. If you know, and we're saying before, if you don't have a desire, I don't know, unless maybe you really, 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 really love your job. But I can't. Online business, what it can end up meaning, is huge freedom. A business like this, anyways, because it's duplicatable. So it doesn't mean that you stop working completely, because of course you don't. And then it depends on what you define as work, because in essence we're working right now. We were drinking this stuff when we got on, so it's a pretty cool job, right? It's not a job, that's why, but we're working right now. So, you know, I'm going to say that most people don't have it, or the people that don't have a desire, or say they don't have a desire, it's a fear-based. It is back to, can I really do this? It's a self-worth base, you know. And I guess it's not for everybody. Obviously, I'm a little biased with this. I think, yes, it is, but I guess it's not. But I'm still coughing here. But I would say go do more personal development stuff. You know, if you're feeling like that, can I really do this? Yeah, I think I want to do it. You know, and I get that. I get feeling that way. I get that you don't go from an employee and afraid of something, then thinking, oh, God, yes, here I am, I'm jumping in. Especially if you're not 20, okay? 20-year-olds will do that quicker. But so I get that aspect of where you're like, ooh, I would like to, but I'm not sure. And how's that going to happen? You know, go read Psycho-Cybernetics. That's a big book. I have to stop talking because I'm going to start coughing. So I got to go.
Okay, so can you hear me, Carol? Okay, all right. So what I wanted to say, what Ellie was, you know, talking about was the mindset thing, and I believe that to be true as well. And there's a cool thing that's happening in our company. We've had two of the companies come together, and I'll mention them. It's iPass and Empower Network. And what that's going to do, it's bringing together two powerhouses, if you will, that is literally going to create this ridiculous online business builder, if you will. The one thing that I learned, and we all learned at the event, and then with the recent update that we just heard today, is that we're gonna have access to all the leadership and other people within our community. See, right now it's and I believe this is like the case in most of these MLMs or network marketing companies, that if you're sponsored by somebody, that's the person you go to. Well, what if that person is new, you're new, everybody's coming in that's new, where do they go, right? So there's these upline, like my upline sponsor is John Rose, and he's one of the top, earners in the company, but he's a very quiet leader. You hardly hear from him, right? So I have been kind of sneaking into other hangouts of other leaders just to get information that I want to build my self-confidence, build my business. And so that is really exciting that they're kind of opening the doors to that, where anybody in the community will have access, like open door access to different hangouts and things like that, and they'll be labeled. So like if it's something about mindset, like I don't know, whatever they want to be specific to relating to mindset, you could attend that hangout to help you in that specific area. So that's pretty cool, because then you're not sitting there from day one trying to build a business and trying to figure it all out, and you really don't have anybody that's helping you, and you basically may not even know what it is that you don't know. So there's going to be basic stuff that they're going to introduce, and it's really exciting. I mean, I'm excited for that to trickle down here, and we'll be seeing some things over the next few weeks. But the whole project, I guess, is going to take about 6 to 8 months, but that's okay, because we're going to merge into it, let's say. So anybody that gets on board with us and our team right now, you're going to be on this same merger, so to speak, okay, this same train, and we can do this together. And that's the exciting part, is that we learn together and we grow together and we have fun. We enjoy having fun. So I wanted to add that in, because I think that's something that we'll be talking about, real soon here, maybe even, next week, who knows. So anyway, Carol, I will switch it over to you.
Wait, I gotta jump in here real quick, because now I can talk again. And this, nighttime, this thing is starting to, it gets a little worse at night. But wait, Raymond said earlier, he said, get to an event and you'll realize that you can do it. So I just had to say that. We just came back from Las Vegas. There were so many people there that were brand new, and met people, and and I remember that, like going to an event and then realizing, if these Cocoberries can do this, so can I. I mean, because it's just this diverse people, like all ages and all colors and all religions and all backgrounds, and really and what a fabulous, fabulous community. So next event is Orlando. We already know, October, I think it's just the 23rd. Get with the person who's invited you here, hit that button, whatever, and get to that event, because those are life-changing. I have to laugh when people go, oh, what the heck, and I was one of them, okay, and I got to the event. It was life-changing for me. It truly was, and I have not missed an event since. And every event, there's another level of aha, and also another level of community. Like, we're like family, like we meet Lynn and Denny, and we meet them there in Vegas, and we met them a couple of events ago, and it's like, oh, we're hugging and kissing, we're so happy to see each other. We met friends that we've known online for a couple of years on, from looking at a camera like this, and she came from Australia, and that was like amazing, like, oh my God, I get to touch this person. So it really becomes family. People really do care about each other. I know that sounds corny, and if you know, look, I'm a New Yorker, all right? I ain't normally corny, so it's true. It just is. So I'm sorry I cut you off, Carol. But Raymond said, get to an event.
No, that's fine. Doesn't matter who comes in. We just kind of establish this order informally. Yeah, and also, in addition to the gal from Australia, who it was so great to see, one of our team members from California, on the other side of our country from us, we're New Yorkers, we got to see for the first time and spend some time with. And it was great to get to know her. Some things came out that I had no idea. It was wonderful. Now, in addition to the event, I can't praise the events enough. That's certainly what led me to make my decision to get into the company, and I've heard that said time and time and time and time again from people, that's usually the deciding factor for many people. But as far as mindset is concerned, I just want to touch on a couple of things. I happened to be on a hangout last evening, and they were talking about quitting is not an option. And what I've been reading in personal development books since I joined this company, oh God, people such as Napoleon Hill, he's one of my very favorites. And it's not the Think and Grow Rich book that hooked me. It was The Law of Success. I love that book. And so many others. But the point is that, yes, I mean, as long as you keep going, as long as you keep working it, you're still in there. You're still in the game. And once you quit, yeah, that to me would be the sign of failure. But as long as you're still in the game, you make mistakes. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. Road bumps, we all run into them. But as long as you're able to keep going, you haven't failed. What you've done is you found out what doesn't work, and you just go around it, go over it, go through it, find alternatives. And that's where you begin to dig deep and reach into yourself and find out what creativity that you have, what talents that you have that you never even knew that you had. And it's fantastic. It's so, what's the word I want? It's so rewarding that it makes you feel so good about yourself to be able to do these things. So we also have one of the products in our company is called the Inner Circle, and the leaders have all taken turns, and some of them have done several of them, audio presentations on the topics of personal development, as well as I want to say tricks, but it's not really tricks. It's how to run your business, and usually it ends up being based on personal development. So, I mean, following those Inner Circle audios are a fantastic way to get going in the business and to keep that momentum going. To keep when you do when you do hit the road bumps, to keep that momentum going. Now, also, there's an 8-core commitment thing that our company puts out there, and there are 8 things that you're to follow every day. Of course, one of them is events. You can't do that every day because they're only once every 3 months. But one of them is to listen to an Inner Circle audio every day, to do some reading every day, et cetera, et cetera. There are 8 of them all together. And that helps keep your mind in a positive view, and keeps you motivated and inspired to keep going. And what else did I want to say about that? Oh, also in the merging of the 2 companies, IPAS and EN. Excuse me a minute. IPAS has a day-by-day training of what to do from day one, from the day that you first enter into the business, how to start, and it gives you a daily plan, a weekly plan, a monthly plan, so it's laid out for you. There's all kinds of information that's there. And that said, I will pass it along.
Yeah, that's true. And when I pass and Empower Merge, just for those people that are watching now or watching the replay, there will be one back office. Everything will go to the Empower Network back office. But there will be a separation as far as certain things through iPass and then the Empower products. I mean, they got to keep that separation. But at any rate, what I wanted to say was, because I shared this quote on my Facebook timeline the other day, I don't know if it was a couple days ago, but winners are not people that never fail, but people that never quit. So, that is key, because if you want to be a winner at anything, I mean, think about, I've seen some, inspirational, motivational videos where the one kid is running a marathon, and he's coming in, and he's like last place or something, and then all these guys go out to him. I mean, he's like a quarter mile away, and they go out to him and help him, not literally help him, but, root him on to get to the finish line. Because this kid looked like he was ready just to drop and say, forget it, I give up. And he didn't. He didn't quit. So the whole key here is that if you can stay the course, and if you can understand that every day you're going to keep building things inside you, because 2 years ago I wouldn't be able to talk the way I'm talking, and in 2 more years from today I'll be even more empowered, if you will, with more success and just inspiration and motivation and learning from these other successful people that are pulling us up. So it's a great combination of community, people, leadership, and a company that's putting it all together. So you have to take a leap of faith. At the beginning, it's a leap of faith. And faith you cannot really describe, because it's a feeling inside of you. And if you have enough faith in yourself, then release that blockage, as David Wood would say, release it. Get rid of it. There's no obstacles in front of you except you, because nobody else is in your way. Even if you have a spouse that's not supportive of what you're doing, see, we even have training on that. We have leaders that even talk about that. We even talk about that too, and how you can work around that. Most of the time, it's if you can get them to an event, that's the best way so they can understand what this is all about and what you want to do. Because I got to tell you, my husband, he's been a great supporter, but he's been kind of like in the background. And this last event, I mean, this guy, I mean, if he was here, he would tell, he is so excited. I've never seen him like this. He talks to everybody. We went out for brunch on Sunday. He was talking to everybody about this new business. And he is so excited. And we came home and we did some videos. And so it's really good that if you can get your spouse involved, that's great. And if not, at least sit down with them and tell them this is why you feel this way, this is why you want to do this, and that's why you will be able to make this thing work. So I wanted to add that in.
Yeah, great information. It's true. Carol did not back me. She was like, if that's what you're doing, go ahead and do it, and I'm good with that, But she was still, you saw the look on her face, and she was like, what is it that you're doing, So. And the event changed her around, and I knew that. I just knew it would because of the type of people there, and that we could try to explain it, to a blue in the face, but you can't explain it until you experience it. But I knew, oh my God, I just need to get Carol in this room with these people, and she's going to want to be a part of this because these are her kind of people. Because these are people that really are into uplifting. That's what they're into. They're into uplifting each other. They're into saying, if I can do this, then you can. And like Lynn was saying, people putting their hand out. It's like this chain of people putting their hand out. Network marketing is grassroots. That's what it is. Okay? It's so-called average people. I don't really like that word, but because nobody's really average. But so-called the really the root and soil and root of America is what we call average people, okay? And it's them reaching out and helping other so-called average people, uplifting them. That's what this, and that's really, isn't that what we're really always looking for? Because that trickle-down crap, it don't work. Don't get me into politics, okay? But it doesn't work. It's obvious. It's proven. We see it. We live it. We live it. So when you can get into something like this and where there's a potential to make huge money, income disclaimer, empowernetwork.com/income, okay? Because I don't know what you'll do. I don't know what you'll do, so I don't know how much money you'll make. And I don't know how long this will take you. There is no such thing as it takes 2.5 weeks or 2.5 months or 2.5 years. There is no such thing. Everybody's journey is personal and it's different. It's an adventure. Everybody's journey is an adventure. When you can embrace it as such and embrace the community, and then the training and all and that learning, yeah, there's skills to learn, but it ain't rocket science. It just ain't. So it's not hard, especially when you have a community, rooting you on. If you don't really, if you still 100% believe in yourself, but you're kind of like, okay, that's the great thing about the community too, because they believe in you before you do. And it's like you really become uplifted. It's, it's like we'll love you before you love yourself. So I know it sounds really corny for a New Yorker talking like this, right? But it's just true. So I know we're not close to the hour, but we do have to get out of here early today because we have a great training coming on from the community and from the leadership. So I'm going to be quiet and pass it all around, and we'll be getting out of here soon. Yeah. Oh, and the answer is yes, you can do it.
I just wanted to add something on here. This sounds weird because I always thought that, this Facebook and the internet and what have you, interacting on it was so, what's the word I want, stilted and impersonal. Impersonal is the word I want. But I have found that a lot of my social life actually takes place on the internet now. And it's bolstered by the events when we actually get to meet these people in person. But it's so fascinating how much you get to learn about one another, and it's fun. It's fun hanging out with these people. Now, the other thing I want to say, and then I'll finish up too, is you're going to hear the word freedom thrown around a lot. Why do people get into this? It's for freedom. Okay, it's kind of a stock answer, but it's a true answer, because I come from, also like Lynn, from most recently the corporate world, but I've had a career for years and years and years and years and years and years, and I worked for somebody else, but how nice it was to be able to throw the alarm clock out the window. My dream was to do that, to be able to not have to get up to an alarm clock, not have to answer to somebody, not have to worry about what you're saying, what you're thinking, because you don't want to offend somebody, you don't want to get in trouble, you don't want it to come out on your evaluation, bloody, bloody, blah. And, all of that, it's just non-existent now. It's so great. And that's like a dream, to be that free. And I wrote a blog today, and I got to pat myself on the back for coming up with this quote for myself. And it said, I am the steward of my dream. And it's true. And I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting on it. I never will. So that said, I believe that you can do it, and I believe we can all do it. I'll pass it along.
Yep, I agree. And that's what, our little team here that we call it when we got together, that's the same vision. I mean, but it's not just us three. It's like Carol says, it's our whole community that thinks and talks the same way, and people that are just starting. It's kind of funny because when you start talking to them, they say the exact same things that you said when you first started, because it's kind of like you're seeing yourself and you're like going, oh boy, but now. And then when you step into your future, your future business and things are succeeding, then you know how to help them. See, that's the chain of effect that we create here. And so that's the cool part too, is that, you know, we learn how we can lead ourselves first, and then we can lead others. So that's all I wanted to add in there, because I know we've got to go to our training, our awesome Collective Premium training. But Ellie, you want to say a few words about the little button down below there?
Yeah, if you're in that area of, oh, I wish it would work for me, maybe it will work for me, do you think it can work for me, just hit the button, okay? And get with the person that invited you here, and get in and get into a community. If we can do this, you can do this. All right? Do I look like a genius? Okay, I'm not. You know that. I know you know that. So it's like, you don't need to be a genius. You need to have a good sense of humor, okay? And you just need to be willing to expand your mindset, because as you expand your mindset, you will learn the skill set. So you will, if you expand your mindset, and you do that by getting into the products, by getting in with the community, by going to the trainings like we're going to do. So there's a green button down there. Click it. Come join us. Get in on this. And we're coming into an even more exciting time. I hate to do that, you know, because people go into some about hype, and we're coming into an even more. This is an exciting business anyways. We're coming into an even more exciting avenue that's happening in here. So it is very exciting for us right now. So get in on the excitement. Expand your life. That's all I got to say. Wait a minute. We had one answer that we said we were going to say, so you have to unmute yourselves. Do you remember what the answer is to the question, both of you? Do you remember what the answer is to the question?
No.
The question is,
yes.
Can I really do this? What's the answer? Hell yes.
Absolutely.
Hell yes.
So we can toast to that.
So we're going to toast to that.
I didn't know where you were going with that for a minute.
Hell yes, you can do it.
Yeah, hell yes you can. Cheers to $1 Million Mission and to your success.
Right.
Right on.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week, folks. If you got questions, if you're watching the replay or what have you, leave them in here. Get with the person who invited you here. Hit the button. Come join us. We're out of here. Bye.
Bye-bye.